Welcome back to the Six City Marketing Podcast. It's been a while, but we're so excited to be back today. Today, I'm here with Sarah Blocksidge, who is our marketing director here at Six City Marketing. Of course, we're conducting these internal interviews just so our audience can gain a better understanding of who we are as individuals, both from an SEO, digital marketing, PPC standpoint, but as well as who we are as individuals outside of the organization, which can include extracurriculars, personal interests, and stuff like that. So, here to start it off, Sarah, how are you today?
I'm good. I'm trying to stay warm in Cleveland during the winter time, but doing my best.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Yeah, no, it's been a cold one up here recently, you guys. So, definitely trying to stay out of the cold weather. I just thought I'd hop right into it. Like I said before, you are the marketing director here at Six City Marketing, so you do have a really good understanding of personal trends, internal marketing efforts, as well as client-based marketing efforts as well. So I thought I'd just say, is there a difference you think between client-based digital marketing as opposed to digital marketing internally for a digital marketing agency?
Yeah, over the years, I've had a bunch of different roles that were both client facing and then now internal. And the only difference I'd really say, and the one that is actually the best, is I get to really see things come full circle. Like I'll write a page, I'll add those keywords to the keyword bank, I'll put the page up, I'll watch the page go up in rankings. And then eventually someone will fill out a contact form from landing on that page. Then I'll see them go through like our sales pipeline. And it's
Mhm.
like I get to see every step of the way with that. But for clients sometimes you would just do something for them and then you just like never really know what happens after.
Right.
Like there's certain things we have in place to see how things go, but being internal at our agency it's just really nice because I get to really see what my work does and how it plays out. And that's really fun because it's like super rewarding. And same
Yeah.
thing goes for like building links and stuff like that. Like I can really see the bottom line of like how everything our team internally does, like
Mhm.
boosts our own marketing and our agency and stuff.
Right. Would you consider it kind of like a full circle moment in that sense too,
Absolutely.
just seeing it from start to finish? And then let's say a potential client signs on with Six City Marketing. Um, Obviously those efforts are passed on to the client facing part of our
Mhm.
team, but it's just nice to catch up with them at those points as well, right?
Yeah, it's like some of the clients that we've had for years, it's so funny because I can go back and like our HubSpot and stuff like that and see the first time they reached out, what page they looked at and
Right.
like how they kind of came about. And it's like some of those people have been here, like been clients for years. So it's
Mhm.
it's definitely a full circle moment and nice to be able to trace that stuff back, which we can't really always do for the clients if we don't have access to all their stuff. So
Right.
it's like I get to see all the behind the scenes stuff, and that's really fun.
Right. No, exactly. And I've had the pleasure as well to dip my toes into some of the internal for Six City Marketing as well. And I can honestly say it's a lot different than our client facing work, but it is definitely just as rewarding. So, obviously, since you are the marketing director here at Six City Marketing, you do have the inside scoop on the latest trends when it comes to digital marketing itself, as well as updates from Google and stuff like that. And let's just say 2023 was a huge year for some updates, whether it was the helpful content update, the rollout of GA4, things like that as well. And I was wondering, would you say there is one that is particularly your favorite from this past year and like why?
That's a tough one. It's definitely not GA4. I think every digital marketer would say that the transition to GA4 is their least favorite update. But I feel like if anything we have had a lot of broad core updates this year. The helpful content update has definitely thrown some things our way to make us change our strategy in a good way. We've become better marketers at our agency from all the stuff that's happened with. But I think the most rewarding ones were some of the broad core updates that happened around the fall. I think
Mhm.
some things that happened behind the scenes with Google around then, like really kind of pushed a lot of our marketing efforts like into a better direction. Like we started to see a lot of keyword upticks, more traffic, stuff like that. So like I think that one was the most rewarding and beneficial to us. So I'm gonna say that's my, those around that time. I think it was like the October broadcore update. It's probably one of my favorites just because, we finally started to see the rewards of our efforts of, cranking out so much more helpful content, building, better quality links, and all that good stuff. So I think that one was probably, after the ups and downs of 2023, that one was, a nice little cherry on top to help the year end pretty well.
Right. No, absolutely. I completely agree. Especially the beginning of 2023 was absolute whirlwind, given the rollout of the helpful content update back in December of 2022. I was wondering, based off of that rollout in 2022 at the end of the year, did you expect us to be in the position that we are today? Like, is it beyond your wildest imaginations? Anything like that?
Yeah, I mean, I don't think a lot of people in the marketing industry would have known that that update would have changed things so much in
Mm-hmm.
SERPs because like we had to completely redo our strategy and our approach to content writing and our approach to research and all that stuff based off of how, Google changed what they rank from the helpful content update. And again, like it was all good stuff where we
Mm-hmm.
came out better and like smarter and, you know, we're doing things the right way now. But like when we started to see the impact of that update at first, like,
Mm-hmm.
maybe we thought it was a blip at first, or something, that would maybe recorrect and course correct because we were doing so well for a long time. And it's like we had this slammed in our face and we kind
Mm-hmm.
of just had to, do so much. But so yeah, I don't think I would have thought at the time when it first came out it would have been as big as it is now. But again, like I truly do think it changed a lot for the better. But, I just, with that said, I'm totally okay if Google doesn't update anything else like that for a really long time. Like that was our biggest update in like years, and it can stay that way for like a lot more years.
Honestly, we need like a 5-year grace period for whatever happened in 2023, if you ask me. But given that, I feel like things are still not as drastically, but progressively changing as well with the introduction of just your chat GPT resources and like AI and stuff like that. Do you see
Mhm.
these resources coming hand in hand when it comes to content creation, strategy development, and stuff like that as well?
Yeah, I definitely think there's a place for them. I
Mm-hmm.
use them sparingly just because, I was just talking about this earlier with someone like sometimes it takes more work for me to get AI to understand what I need from it
Right.
and have them give me an output that's helpful for me rather than, it be I actually get what I need. So, it has helped in some ways and I'm still learning it. I think everyone on the team is kind of in the same boat, and
Mm-hmm.
again, that's another thing that's changing every day. They're making updates to ChatGPT, there's new plugins that come in from it. So I think down the line, as we continue to use it for our strategies and, research and stuff like that, it'll be better. But right now we're definitely still in like a research phase of all like, how can we use this the smartest way? Like how much can we trust it and all that stuff. But I'll be excited to see how that evolves because I definitely would love for it to be as useful and practical as everyone wants it to be.
Absolutely. No, I definitely agree with you as well. Thank you. Quick shift from just position standpoint, more as your overall journey through Six City Marketing. You have been at the organization for a little less than 8 years now at this point, which is amazing, right? So I just wanted to ask, what's been the best part of growing with an organization throughout the years?
Yeah, so it is kind of crazy because I did start as an intern and now I'm, marketing director of our internal stuff. But over the years, classic phrase, I've worn many hats. But like truly though, I've had an interesting journey here. And I guess one of the best parts is that like I've learned so many different things over the years. I dabbled on the web side of things. So I have like some coding background and I know a lot of the ins and outs of WordPress and stuff like that, which comes in handy so much
Hmm.
in my SEO work and stuff like that. And, otherwise it is also fun to see everyone else kind of grow at the agency. Again, like I guess similarly to like how it is watching, people contact our site and then become clients. Like it's similar to like seeing people come into our organization and seeing them grow and
Hmm.
seeing them change. And like, I think when I started, we probably had, oh gosh, I don't know, maybe 10 clients or so. We were so tiny. There was maybe only 7 of us. And we were a small but mighty group with, some good clients back then. And like we're, nearly 20 people now with, gosh, I don't, probably 40 clients. I don't even know the exact number, but like, so that's been fun to be here through, various ups and downs and various changes in the organization and like, taking it stride for stride and like seeing how much things have changed and the people too. Cause I'm always rooting for all my coworkers to grow and to change and for them to find, what they want to do best. And we've definitely had other people like me who started out in one role and have ended up on the completely other side of stuff. And, that it's definitely such a nice part of being here is being able to, they give us the flexibility to try new things and give a shot at different departments, which I've done a number of times. And then it
Hmm.
comes back to be like, actually, I didn't love that as much as I thought I would. So we're going to pivot and, it's the beauty of it. So, nothing but love for everything I've had on my journey here.
So within the like less than 8 years you've been here as well, you said you've done like a lot of pivoting and stuff. Would 20 like what would 2024 Sarah be surprised about what she did at Six City Marketing at one point throughout her journey? I know you said you did a lot more coding back in the day as well, but is there anything that like jumps out that you're like, wow, I can't believe I did that, right?
Oh yeah, definitely some of that web stuff for sure. Straight up
Hmm.
launching websites and being in the back records of people's DNS and like all these really intricate settings that, very scarily could crash an entire website. And, I'm an anxious girly, so that part was never super fun. But again, like, being able to have something tangible after was always rewarding. But yeah, looking back, I'm definitely glad I'm not in those situations as much as anymore, just because, there's like a scary red button that you'd press and then like magically everything could go poof and go away. And very, very glad I'm not doing that anymore. But I would be, I guess, like if I had never known in my beginning that I would had that step in my journey, I'd be super surprised that I did. But, learning lessons, and I'm glad I have that background in me now, but also totally glad to be where I'm at now.
Absolutely no. I completely agree with you. Just given my own personal journey as well. I haven't
Mhm.
been here for 8 years, but I mean, I even in the time that I have been here, I have also, I feel, worn many hats and having that opportunity to be able to be a part of an organization that values the versatility of trying new things and the overall growth of an individual, just both what's the word I'm looking for from like a professional development standpoint, but also from a skills
Completely.
standpoint. So
Hmm.
that's
Yeah.
absolutely amazing. Speaking of some skills, right? Based on what you've stated from obviously the internal marketing efforts, the client facing marketing efforts, the web building, I also know you have a very special skill that is utilized mainly internally throughout the organization. So, outside of your role as marketing director, you're known for creating fabulous birthday photoshops that are created for employee birthdays. What have been some of your favorite creations over the years? Just for anyone wondering, any birthday that is celebrated at Six City Marketing as well, um, the person whose birthday is gets a beautiful assortment of specialized photoshops tailored to their interests, their likes, maybe a funny story that you've told a coworker in the past that gets passed through the grapevine. So, do you have any favorites?
There's been so many over the years that like, I mean, I definitely have some personal favorites that I probably can't say out loud. Whether it be their like not inappropriate, but definitely like a certain niche, or they're maybe client related. So I'm not gonna, share any details there. But otherwise, I feel like some of the fun ones are always like the disturbing swapping of heads on family photos where, someone's dog becomes their head and then like the baby becomes like the dog. There's some definitely wacky ones that way. I also have always loved making fake products for people, whether it be like a client related client or product or something, based again, like on their interests or something, or a mix of everything between. Like those always come out so crazy. Same with like the news articles. Like I've definitely, sadly put some people in some interesting situations that, to whoever is printing these photoshops out at like the Office Depot by our office, they're probably like, what is wrong with these people? Like, is this real? Because, there's definitely some crazy things that we've all come up with over the years, and it's definitely a very fun side project that I get to do to break up the daily activity of being a marketing director when the time comes, it be people's birthday. So
Like we said earlier, you're wearing many hats. So
many hats. Yeah, I learned Photoshop when I was in high school in my one of the photography classes I took. And so over the years, I've, used that skill for many different things. Again, would I say that I would have known that when I first learned Photoshop, I'd be using it in that way now? Absolutely not. But am I glad to? Absolutely. So, it's a very fun little thing to know for
mm,
sure.
absolutely, honestly, I've celebrated 2 birthdays at Six City Marketing, and I think one of my favorite Photoshops have come from this past year. Sarah photoshopped my face onto an SNL skit, the
Oh
American
yeah.
Girl doll one.
Oh
So
yeah. That one was so good. It was such a niche Photoshop mixing, your love of Taylor Swift and your past experience of working at American Girl doll store. And if anyone doesn't know, there's a fabulous skit from not too long ago with Travis Kelce being a patron at the American Girl doll store cafe. And not only is it one of the best skits ever, but like it was just so niche to Rachel's life that it was perfection. I'll pat myself on the back for that one because I truly loved it myself too. But that's definitely the fun part of is like finding these like niche little things about people that I've either heard or, I'm creeping on every single profile they have on the internet and finding some of these things. And, it's all sleuthing. And again, I use my freaking marketing skills of a SEO researcher to go find these weird little holes on the internet about every coworker. So I kind of feel bad for some people that know me because I can truly find some deep hidden things about everyone that they may not want to be found.
I get that though. I feel like since I've started working extensively with SEO just in general and stuff, I feel like I've become like an expert Googler, right?
Oh yeah.
Like I know
That's
exactly what to look for, right?
Oh yeah, that's the beauty of honestly like taking some SEO skills into real life. Like I definitely know how to manipulate the search engines to find exactly what I want. And it's fun. Like I love like I definitely do not want to be known as a manipulator, but to Google, sure, I'll take it. It's a search engine. I think it'll survive whatever I throw at it. So
I mean, it's its goal too. It's to find exactly what you're looking for. So,
exactly.
I mean, like if you
Right.
know and have those skills to be able to get exactly what you want, I feel like that's
Yeah.
just being productive, right? Like,
Exactly. No, right. It truly is. Yeah.
that's awesome. Well, like I said, the photoshops are always a super fun way to break the ice, especially internally at Six City Marketing. Uh, Last question I have for you actually is more of a personal interest of yours. So I know that you're also the astrology guru in our office, and I just wanted to know, does this knowledge ever cross over into like a work setting? My bad. Maybe given relationships with coworkers, communication standpoint, stuff that you find within industry news, things like that.
Yeah, everything has a funny roundabout way of connecting. So like, I mean, again, once I do know everyone's birthdays already because I'm doing their photoshops, but yeah, I also know, what the astrological sign they are from that. And so like, whenever people do start at the office, I probably one of the first questions I do ask them is what is their birthday? Not only for my own planning of birthday shenanigans, but also for my own evil doing of I'm curious about what traits they might have from that stuff. But that's all, silly stuff. Everyone can get along with everyone. I think we do a really
Hmm.
good job at all getting along pretty well in the office. But otherwise,
Absolutely.
too, when it comes to work stuff, it is kind of funny sometimes when, Mercury goes retrograde and I see some major thing online about some website crashed or some product got launched and it failed or something like that. It's kind of funny to kind of just know about. And then for my own personal doings, it's like I am a little bit more cautious about what email blasts I send out, or like if I'm updating something on the website during, some of those more sensitive times in the universe, let's say. And so, it all does, I don't let it completely overtake anything I ever do in work or in life. That's a blanket thing for anyone who knows anything astrologically. But I mean, I do try to use it to my benefit to like if I need to be more cautious or maybe there's a full moon and I know people might just be a little bit moody. Stuff like that. It's all in good fun, but it is also super funny to see like the little things of like, oh man, like someone's website crashed, like, ah man, of course, Mercury's in retrograde, like typical. So, it's stuff I definitely joke about with some people in the office that know me about my, little astrological knowings. Because funnily enough, I've studied astrology for longer than I've been in marketing because I started getting into that like back when I was in college. So,
Right.
uh, it's very fun to keep it interesting inside of the work circle, but it's not completely my job, thankfully.
But it also, I feel like it builds rapport as well because I know, especially around when I first started as well, I would say I take an interest in astrology as well. So we've
Hmm.
definitely had some
Uh-huh.
pretty extensive conversations given our charts and stuff like that and how
Oh
they
yeah.
stuff like that. And I've learned a lot from you as well. So
Oh, I appreciate that. No, yeah, it is fun when it is when other people do take an interest in it too, because like, I have some, group chats on, in work that people are like, is some planet in retrograde? Like this keeps happening. Or like, is there something with the moon? Like I'm feeling tired or something, funny stuff like that. So people who never had an interest to it, sadly, from being around me so often, have learned to take a little interest in it more or be more aware of stuff like that. And also I completely love, yeah, people like you who I also know already knew a ton. So it's so much more fun to be able to talk about some of the more intricate things that, I can't blanketly say to someone else who knows absolutely nothing. And it's yeah, silly stuff. It's like, oh yeah, how was this full moon for you? Like, did you survive or like really silly stuff like that. But I definitely am known to ask some personal questions about people in astrology and stuff like that in the office but all for fun and all for benefit and all for, out of trying to take interest. So.
see, and I feel like I love it as well. Just because I feel like you get a really good understanding of like a person from like that standpoint and stuff. And I know some people are like, "Oh, I hate this sign, I hate that sign, whatever." Like I never really look at it this way. I just kind of look at it
Hmm.
more along the lines of like this is how this person functions given what they've
Absolutely.
been given, right? You know what I mean? So,
Uh-huh. Yeah, it is kind of being like, I from studying it for so many years and knowing so many different people from my various, places in life, it is kind of you do start to learn some like habitual things about, a certain sign and stuff like that. So again, I take it all with a grain of salt because, people are people, but it is still kind of fun because I am able to put together some of those more generic stereotype stuff. But it's all learning and I have like a sponge brain. Like everything I learn, if I see like someone's chart once or if I know their birthday once, like I'll remember it forever. And that's a, a pro and a con because it's nice to know that stuff. But at the same time, it's very easy to get a little, not obsessed with it, but like to know too much. Like sometimes for astrology, I think I know too much because it definitely has a downfall of being like, oh, I might know why that's happening or why they're that way and stuff like that. But then I have to say hush hush because, that's just, some secret intel I have for myself then, I guess.
It's like a secret language a little bit too, just like
It
in a
definitely
communication
is.
standpoint. So,
Yeah, I've always made the analogy that it's like knowing the details about some of that stuff is like knowing the answers in the back of a textbook.
mhm.
Like it's like I have this little cheat sheet guide that like maybe no one else knows where to look to find it and like can read it. So it's just like it definitely is a secret little language and like this secret little tool, that I feel like has only benefited me in life. But to some, I know, I mean, I'm totally understand everyone's like, oh, that's, a load of crap or like that stuff's silly. And it is, but at the same time, it's not going to stop me from,
Well, it's nice to have your interests and stuff like outside of like a work standpoint as well, because
for
without
sure.
it, like, I think people would go crazy a little bit, right? Just
Oh, for sure. Oh, yeah. Yeah, everyone at work has their own little silly thing that they have to do to, keep the fun alive. So that just happens to me be mine. So, yeah.
absolutely. Absolutely. Well, honestly, Sarah, it's been an absolute pleasure to talk to you this afternoon. And I was wondering, is there anything else you wanted to add before we ended things for today?
Oh man, not really. I feel like just like if there was any other just blanket advice for anyone in marketing, it's just to stay curious and be curious and, just do that. Just, keep an open mind and be able to love learning because that's like why I guess I love doing what I do is that there's always something new and there's always something to learn and it can be just very fun. So, yeah, I think that's it. But yeah, it's been a pleasure chatting with you today as well.
Sounds awesome. I'll leave it off on just the whole statement you said earlier about like being a sponge, right? That because that's how
Mhm.
I look at things as well. Anyone that's in a digital marketing industry position knows that things are always changing. So the more that you can kind of soak up your information and go from there, I think it's the best way to do it. So
Absolutely. Yeah.
awesome. Well, thank you so much, Sarah, for speaking with me today, and I hope everyone has a wonderful rest of their day.